incredibly long and can score, and is pretty shifty down there. So just trying to read the situations and play it the right way. And yeah, anytime you're not like shouldering a scoring load, I think, just in general, my role has changed, and that's what I think this team needs. So that's just more of my focus. We have so many dynamic scorers that I use a little bit more energy, doing those things.
Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey Blake, does Game 3 in Boston prepare you at all for Game 3 in Milwaukee, or is it two different scenarios and two different things to prepare for?
Definitely different scenarios, but we can draw, take something from that situation. I thought we did a great job, at home, first two Boston games of executing our game plan and, being focused on the little things, and we kind of lost sight of that. That's going to be a big point of emphasis for us, just making sure that there's no relax. We basically done what we were supposed to do. We won at home, so that was kind of the message in the locker room. It's like, what have we done? We haven't done anything. We've played solid, but this is sort of how it's set up. So I think that'll be our mindset going in.
Stephen Bondi with the Daily News.
Hey, Blake, you mentioned how your role is different here, but really your role has kind of changed over the last 2 years, really. How much of an adjustment has that been for you, and how did that start, and was that difficult to get started, to adjust your game a certain way after being an all-star in 2019? Can you kind of take me through that process a little bit?
No, it's just basketball at the end of the day. I've played with the ball in my hands a fair amount. I've played where I was a screener, a roller, a secondary facilitator. I've played basketball my whole life, so I've been in all these situations. So really, it's just playing basketball. It's no transition. It's probably a transition for other people to watch, but at the end of the day, you do what is asked of you. The ball finds the space. So, no.
Tina Cervasio with Fox 5.
Blake, this might seem like a simple question, but physically, how, with the way that you're playing, physicality on the court, the diving for the balls, playing above the rim, how are you feeling physically after all these games, these recent games here in the postseason?
I feel good. This performance staff here has been great. The way we approached, heading into the postseason, or really since I've been here, they keep our loads down, when we're on practice days. Like I said, our performance staff is great. Our strength staff is great. They've done a great job of preparing me for this moment. So I feel good physically.
Steve Lichtenstein with WFAN.
Hi, Blake. Since the first quarter of Game 1, the team has done a pretty good job limiting second chance points. Was there any kind of adjustment that triggered that?
Was there any kind of what?
Adjustment?
More of just like a conscious, group rebounding effort. Always having a body on Brook. Brook's huge. So always having a body on him, and then, everybody coming back in. I think the first quarter of the first game, I didn't do a great job of coming back in after challenging a Giannis shot, or if he was floating out on the perimeter, I didn't do a great job of that. And I think as a whole, we've done a much better job of gang rebounding since that first quarter.
Alex Schiffer with The Athletic.
Hey, Blake. Steve was kind of quick to say, when the playoffs started, how it was Nick's first playoff series, and even though it's his second year, he's still kind of a rookie in the playoffs. And just seems like after that Boston series, he's played terrifically well in this Milwaukee series. Could you just speak to the growth that he's made in between series and kind of cleaned up some of the up and downs he had in that first one?
He's been great. I even thought he had a big impact, in his sort of limited amount of time in the Boston series. But Nick's great, man. It's crazy because he's nowhere near his potential. But that's not to say he's not helping us every time he's on the floor. He impacts the game, whether he's blocking shots or even rebounding and scoring or not. Just his presence and his defense. So. He's been great. He's just always asking questions, curious, always wants to learn and kind of pick your brain. And just his attitude, his overall attitude is unbelievable for being so young. And kind of playing some here and not playing here, and you know, sort of being out of rhythm from a playing time standpoint, and just being young, he handles it all extremely well as I've seen anybody.
Back to Christian Winfield.
Blake, I think I saw something that said you guys are shooting 50, 40, 90 as a team. What would you say is responsible for that efficiency across the board?
We've gotten good looks. I think for the most part, our defense has been pretty solid. And you know, after that first quarter, I think we gave up was it 9 offensive rebounds in the first, or not, maybe it's 9 second chance points. We gave a lot of second chance points in the first quarter. And then after that, you know, we sort of sat down, got stops, didn't have to take the ball out every time, got in transition, got some easy ones. And then the ball starts moving around. You know, we've shot the ball well from 3 for the most part, but our looks have been really good as well. You know, it's not like we've hit a bunch of tough shots. We have hit some, but I think our ball movement has been really good. You know, not settling, drive, draw, kick, all that.
Thanks for your time, Blake.
That's